So, I've just been offered a new cruise gig, and I thought it'd be quite a good idea to document it in a bit of a vlog style. So, I'm going to be going and doing the gig. I'm going to try and vlog as much of it as I can, and I'm also going to do a few videos in the lead up to it. So, first of all, how did I get the gig? Well, like a lot of gigs, it came through an agent. So I've known this agent a long time. He was the agent I went through when I first went on ships back in 2000, 2001. I actually got that original gig through word of mouth. Well, actually, it wasn't word of mouth. It was a guy I was playing with in a band. They were going on a ship, and I got asked whether I'd like to do it or not because they needed a bass player. So it was as simple as that. So in that way, it's networking. So I went and did that, but of course, you had to go through an agent still. I mean, it was, the band was set, but it's an agent that deals with that band leader. So on I went, all that time ago, and he's put me on a lot of ships ever since. So I decided not to do any more ships after about 2013 I think it was, when we first had kids, and I decided I didn't want to go away anymore because, a few of you might know the story behind this. I've talked about it on other lessons and in live streams. We had our first child, and about 2 days after she was born, I had to go off on a world cruise. So I was away for 4 months, and it was awful. I had to just up and leave. There were all these tears and everything. It was awful just leaving my fiance and child there. So off I went on that ship, came back, and I thought to myself, no, I'm not going to do that anymore. And to be honest, that was pretty much how Talking Bass started. So from that point on, I really wanted to go back into teaching, and I didn't really want to be gigging around all the time. So I thought, I'll get back into teaching. It'll be nice. It'll kind of work with the family life. And so I decided to put out some YouTube videos with a view to getting things like Skype lessons, and it just kind of ballooned from there. So a couple of days ago, I got a message on Facebook from that agent asking me whether I was available to do this cruise. And I think he assumed that I was going to say no, because I've said no to so much stuff over the past couple of years. But this time I thought to myself, well, it could be kind of good for Talking Bass, for the site. I could, do this vlog, show people how it all works, because a lot of people know roughly what a cruise gig is. You go on a cruise ship, you kind of travel around, you play on it, and then you come back. That's what a lot of people that have never done it before, that's kind of what they think, and they think, oh, well, you get to get a suntan and, just do a bit of traveling. But there's a lot more to it than that. So I thought I'd document it right from the beginning, showing, how you prepare for it, the things that you might need to take, just a lot of the other stuff that goes along with it, little things like buying travel insurance. Go! Woohoo! The gig starts in about 3 weeks' time, and I'll be away for about 2 weeks, so I've got plenty of time to prepare. And the good thing is, I've already been on this particular ship. I was actually band leader on there for about 2 years, from about 2008 to about 2010. So I know all about the ship, and I know the gig. Now, the only person that I've ever met from the band is the singer, who's the band leader, and I met her on a gig long ago, just another ship gig, and she was in one of the other bands. So she's the only person that I know in the band. So I'm going to be going into this completely blind, I don't know anybody in there. And it's a sight reading gig. I've not read any of the music before, so I'm just going to be going in there, and we're pretty much going to be, winging it on stage. So I'll just very quickly run through the things that have happened so far in the past few days and the order of events. So first of all, like I said, I was asked on Facebook, can I do the gig? So I said yes, that was that. So then later on that day, I was emailed a little Excel document, just an attachment there, and I just had to fill in my details. So that's my name, address, a load of things like passport numbers, stuff like that. Send that back to the agent so that can go back to the cruise company. So obviously somewhere during all that time, the agent must have got in touch with the band leader to say, yes, Mark can do it. So I then got an email from the band leader saying hi, just a basic greeting, asking how I was, blah, blah, blah. Like I say, we already know each other, so it was a little bit of a kind of social email, let's say. Today I had a second email from the agent asking for my travel insurance documents. So that's another thing that you've got to do if you're going through an agent and you're playing in, let's say, a band that's a visiting band on the ship. You have to sort out your own travel insurance. I've just bought some travel insurance and sent those details through to the agent. Generally, with this kind of depth reading gig, you don't get much of a chance to see the music beforehand. It's very much a case of just get on there on the day, there's the pad, and you just read through it. But this is a bit of an exception. The band leaders actually asked whether I want to see the parts beforehand, and you know, if you do get the chance to see the parts beforehand, then that's great. Often bands have very large pads with, you know, often thousands of pieces of music in there. So even if I do get the parts through, it's, you know, I'm not going to be learning every single one, nothing like that. But it is often handy just to see what you've got coming. You know, have a look through, see if there's any tricky parts in there, if there's going to be some weird page turns, things like that. And considering that I'm going to be working with an iPad and I'm going to be reading from there, I would very much like to be able to see where there might be any DSL coders or repeats that are going to be a little bit weird, you know, where I've got to flick forwards and backwards, because I'm not completely au fait with using an iPad on stage. I've used it for certain things, but not for a huge pad like this. So I'm going to have to get used to having a playlist, well, not a playlist, but you know, the whole pad of songs in there, and get used to, you know, rifling through them, getting it up, and then, you know, getting on to the next one. So that's the basics of the gig so far. I've not really got much else to sort before sailing. So, you know, they've got my details, they've got the travel insurance documents, you know, that's pretty much it. I've already got all the stuff that I would need, like the tuxedo, you know, all of that kind of thing. So I'll probably think a little bit more about some of the other things, like which bases I'm going to take, you know, whether I'm going to take any effects or anything like that. The stuff that I'm going to pack, that'll all come in the week leading up to the gig. But for now, you know, I can just chill out and just wait for it to come. I'm going to do a few more videos on the lead up to the gig, so I'll probably show getting packed up, you know, showing how I decide which bases to take, things like that. So I'll see you later.